outing came on July 31st at Toronto. He gave up 5 runs in 1 inning, but watching the game, you might think that was a little unlucky. Full count pitch inside to Plaz. Corrente had 2 outs with nobody on in that 7th inning before 5 runs came around to score. He just let it get away from him a little bit, but I'm sure he's looking to put that one behind him here as Plaz lines that full count pitch up the alley in left center field. Making the turnaround first, cut off by Tyler Duncan shy of the track. And Victor Plaz on that full count pitch whacks a double to put the Majors in business here in the top of the first.
Making his way to the plate, the catcher, number 26, Eduardo.
Plaz squared that one up, and he will put a runner in scoring position for somebody the Cardinals are not exactly excited to see. Eduardo Diolio, the Majors catcher tonight, has been tearing the cover off the ball against these Cardinals this season. In 18 at-bats against them, he's hitting over 400 and slugging over 600. The first pitch from Corrente. Hit foul right side. The last time these Majors were here at Bernie Arbor, it was a particularly testy contest. London took it 6-5 in 10 innings. And Diolio was a central figure in that game with multiple extra base hits. The 0-1 to Eduardo is popped up, foul ground. Charging in from first and making the catch is Josh Niles. So 2 outs for Rich Corrente this inning, 2 via the foul pop-up. And with 2 gone, that'll set things up for cleanup hitter Caden Cardoso. Caden rocking the high Sox look today. Big power hitting lefty first baseman. He's been one of the most productive hitters in the IBL all season. His .329 average and .920 OPS lead qualified Majors hitters. First pitch hit high and deep out to right center field. Dennis DeBanning takes a look and that ball is gone. First pitch ambush. Caden Cardoso took one on the inner half and belts it over the fence in right center. Burning his former team, wasting no time here in the first inning. 2-run shot for Cardoso, and London will take the early 2-0 lead.
Stepping up to the plate, right fielder number 7, Starling Joseph.
So the inning will continue, and London with 2 on the board will send up Starling Joseph to the plate. Joseph playing right field tonight. Swung on and missed at that first pitch there for strike 1. That is the first home run that we've seen here at Bernie Arbor in quite some time. Cardoso demolished it. The 0-1 pitch down and in. And Corrente once again, unfortunately, a common theme developing here between this outing and his last one. As Joseph hits that one on the ground to third. Keeler Loveridge up with it. Throw to first in time. But early damage done. Caden Cardoso strikes with a 2-run homer for the Majors. They lead 2-0. Cardinals coming up here bottom of the first. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Stepping up to the plate, the shortstop, number 1, Raquelman Castro.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. Bottom of the first here, London at Hamilton. The Majors did some early damage in the top of the first, a 2-run home run off the bat of first baseman Caden Cardoso. Leading off the bottom half of the Cardinals is Raquelman DeCastro, the shortstop. And he'll be taking his cuts against Majors starter/opener Braden Farrington. Farrington normally a reliever pitching from the right side, but London is in the midst of a brutal stretch of their schedule. So they got to save some arms here as DeCastro hits that one on the ground into left field. It sneaks under the glove of the third baseman Plaz, and the Cardinals have the leadoff man aboard here. For Luis Bernardo, the catcher. As it has so often been this season, ever since DeCastro was acquired by Hamilton, it's been Raquelman batting leadoff and Luis Bernardo batting second. The two from the Dominican Republic hitting back-to-back in the order. First pitch by Bernardo, grounded to third. Plaz to second for one. Throw on to first, double play. So in one pitch, the Cardinals had the leadoff man on, and the very next pitch, it is erased. Three pitches, two outs here for Braden Farrington for Tyler Duncan coming up to bat now. The book on Braden Farrington, he has made one spot start this year, going 5 2/3 innings in a game against Guelph earlier this season. Other than that, typically just a one-inning reliever. Fills up the zone, not a lot of strikeouts, not a lot of walks, lives down in the zone, pitch to contact guy, doesn't throw overly hard. And the Cardinals will have to get used to that style if they want to climb out of this early hole. The 0-1 from Farrington into Duncan. Down and away. Our statistician Nate letting me know that before Cardoso's big shot in the top of the first, the last home run we'd seen here at Bernie Arbor was hit by Robert Mullen of the Well and Jackfish all the way back on June 28th. It's been 6 weeks since Canada Day, folks. We haven't seen a home run here since before then until today. Duncan rolls that one on the ground over to second. Throw to first by Jogan Chandradat is in time. So Farrington faces the minimum. We are through one here at Bernie Arbor. Scores 2-0 London. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Hey there, fans. Want to give a big special shout out to all of our groups in attendance tonight. The Mark Priest House, Hamilton Police Association, Pantry for Paws, Hamilton Conservation Foundation, Mission Services, McPhail Auto, Ronald McDonald House, Wellwood, Interval House, Boys and Girls Club of Hamilton Halton, Community Living Burlington, John Howard Society, Mission Services, Liuna Local 837, and the Hamilton District Labor Council. Looking for your next group outing? Look no further. Visit IBL Cardinals for more information today.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor here in Hamilton. Getting set for the top of inning number 2. Champ Garner coming up to bat here for the London Majors. They have an early 2-0 lead over Hamilton here. Rich Corrente back out for his second inning of work in the opener role. He is ready. The kick and the pitch to Gardner is swung on and drilled deep to left field. Brandon Daly giving chase back at the wall, and it is gone. Champ Garner got one he liked and drills it over the trees beyond the fence out there in left center. 3 runs for the Majors tonight, all via the long ball. An early power display here from London and a 3-0 lead.
Stepping up to the plate, left fielder number 13, Brad Verhoeven.
And all of a sudden, we're into the bottom third of the Majors order. And Corrente has yet to get an out here in the second inning. Brad Verhoeven stepping in from the left side, assuming duties in left field tonight. Takes the first pitch outside. So we hadn't seen a home run here at Bernie Arbor in a month and a half, and now we see two in back-to-back innings. The 1-1 to Verhoeven. Swung on and missed. The last game between the Cardinals and the Majors here, again, was a tightly contested 6-5 London win in the 10th inning. The Cardinals were up by 1 with 2 outs in the 9th before back-to-back throwing errors allowed London to tie it and then eventually win it in the extra frame. It was a high-spirited game. London's dugout was particularly loud. They were very vocal, cheering on their teammates all night. They had a lot to play for. They were intense. And they delivered. But of course, just a couple days ago in London, the Cardinals went into the top of the ninth down 3-2. Couple men reached, Tyler Duncan RBI single, Josh Niles sac fly, and they took it by a score of 4-3 as Brad Verhoeven lines out softly to the shortstop Raquelman DeCastro for out number 1 here in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up Noah Williams. Designated hitter, one of London's junior call-ups. Taking his cuts from the left side. First pitch to Williams is in there for strike 1. So with the past 2 games between these 2 teams in mind, it would, I think, be particularly entertaining if we could have a playoff matchup involving these 2 teams. What a catch by Tyler Duncan out in center field. Noah Williams hit that one on a frozen rope to dead center, but Duncan, he can play everywhere on the diamond, and he lunges out to make that catch. 2 away here for the number 9 hitter, Jagan Chanderdot. He, of course, is the son of Majors manager Roop Chanderdot. First pitch to Jagan, swung on and missed. Chanderdot batting from the right side, playing second base today. The 0-1 hit on a line to right center, and that'll get down for a base hit. Plenty of loud contact for the Majors early on off of Rich Corrente. Pull side opposite field, hit for contact, hit for power. And the order turns over once again for Gibson Krasminski, who fouled out his first time up. Krasminski, one of the few switch hitters in the IBL. He bats, of course, from the left side when a right-handed pitcher's on the mound, and then vice versa. He'll hit with a man on and 2 outs, so you're trying to keep this inning going. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Krasminski, a super utility man of sorts in games against the Cardinals this year. He has played the corner outfield. He played second base on Sunday, and now he's playing shortstop today as he fouls that one back just by the top of the light tower and way out of play down the right side. Corrente with a chance to get his first strikeout of the night. He has Krasminski in an 0-2 hole here. The 2-strike delivery inside. Cardinals bullpen starting to get busy. Of course, we knew Corrente, as a reliever making a spot start, wouldn't be in action for too long. Here's the 1-2 fouled away again by Krasminski. It looks like Stephen Hospital doing some light toss out there in the bullpen. Andrew Johnson, one of the Cardinals catchers, is catching him. Johnson will be out of the commission for the next few days after getting hit in the face with a pitch in Guelph on Saturday. He's got a pretty nice black eye. Battle scar. Another 1-2, runner goes. Pitch outside, the throw by Bernardo sails into center field, but Chanterdout will stop at second. Make it a stolen base for the Majors' number 9 hitter. And not only is the count now even, but Krasminski has a man in scoring position. Corrente looks in, gets the sign from Bernardo. And the 2-2. Golfed foul down the line. And it lands just shy of the parking lot. And we'll do it again. Victor Plaza on deck should the inning continue. He had that nice full count single that set up the 2-run homer by Cardoso in the first. The pitch from Corrente hit a mile high, shallow center. 3 fielders converging on it. Raquelbin de Castro, the shortstop, calls for it and makes the catch. We've played an inning and a half here at Bernie Arbor. Score is 3-0 London. You are watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Please do not jump the fence. If you're not down at the Cardinals entrance when the last out of the inning is made, you may not be allowed to run the bases.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial here in Hamilton. Bottom 2 coming up, 4, 5, 6 in the Cardinals lineup due up this inning off Braden Farrington. Beginning his second inning of work in this matchup of bullpen games here on this Tuesday. Of course, this game was originally scheduled for Sunday the 14th of July. It was rained out. And now, almost a month later, here we are. Dennis DeBanning will lead things off for the Cardinals. Dennis's first at-bat against these Majors here at home, since he was right in the middle of that post-game skirmish a couple of weeks ago. Bench is cleared following the final out of the bottom of the 10th. First pitch to DeBanning is down and away. 1-0 is up high. Even though it is Tuesday, it's a busy day around the IBL. 2 other games going on besides this one, and one of them with pretty serious playoff implications. A lot of teams getting in their makeup games after rainouts earlier in the season. The Brantford Red Sox are visiting the Kitchener Panthers at Jack Couch Park. If Brantford loses that contest, they will officially be eliminated from postseason contention. Of course, 8 of the 9 teams make it. And losing that game would clinch, so to speak, last place for Brantford. The 2-1 to DeBanning is hit high in the air to right field. Over to his left is Starling Joseph. He makes the catch. And there's one away. So Josh Niles playing first base tonight. Will take his cuts. Only a few more games for Josh with these Cardinals this year before he goes off to school in the fall. Niles had a nice play in the first, tracking down that foul pop-up Just a few steps shy of the major dugout. Josh is from the London area in nearby St. Thomas, and he had a big go-ahead sac fly in that 9th inning to put the Cardinals ahead 4-3 in Sunday's tight victory. Grounds this one over to second, took a funny hop on Joggin Chanderdot. He couldn't handle it, and it'll be an infield hit for Josh Niles. That ball had eyes. Practically zigzagging through the grass there. A slow chopper on the infield here at Bernie Arbor. May as well be a pinball. You never know where it's going to end up. Cardinals will take it, and Brandon Daly's going to step up now. First pitch to Daly, a strike on the outside corner. Daly hasn't been much of a power threat this year, but his bat has really come around. He's hitting .293 since July 1st. That's third on the team behind Tyler Duncan and Coley and Tomasi. The 0-2 to Daly, swung on and missed. Filthy pitch from Farrington. He got Daly to bite on that off-speed pitch out of the zone. So now it'll be Cam Gravel, the second baseman. Hitting 7th today, one of the youngest Cardinals on the team. He will also be off to school in the fall. Gravel, a product of the Niagara area. Debuted with the team a few weeks ago. The 0-1, runner goes. But Niles was about halfway to second when Gravel fouled it off, so he's got to go back. Farrington has the Cardinals on the ropes here, 0-2, 2 outs here in the early going. Niles with a pretty aggressive lead from first once again. Pick-off move by Farrington. Not too close. Niles didn't really have to slide there. Gravel looks on. The kick and the pitch incoming from Farrington. Hit in the air left center. Chasing back on it, and this ball is caught. Center fielder Champ Garner runs it down. It looked like Gravel might have had an extra base hit there, but Garner says not so fast. We've played 2 here at Bernie Arbor. Score is still 3-0 for London. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14, presented by Mountain Mitsubishi.
Swiss Chalet is Canada's favorite place for rotisserie chicken, with recipes passed down from generation to generation. Swiss Chalet is a taste of delicious comfort. Only a 10-minute drive from the stadium. Visit our Ronald Road location at 12 1240 Round Road East here in Hamilton today.
Welcome back inside Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. Top three coming up. Rich Corrente is back out there for his third inning of spot start work for Hamilton. Matt Creeley with you here on Cable 14. The Cardinals bullpen once again. I wouldn't say it's busy, but it's not quite dead either. Looks like Stephen Hospital, who was previously soft tossing, is getting ready to throw with intent. 2/3 of an inning more in Hospital will be officially qualified for the Cardinals playoff roster. He has come in clutch on multiple days like today where the Cardinals are running a bullpen game with some multi-inning relief work. Victor Plaz digs in for London to lead it off here, meanwhile, in the top of the third. First pitch swinging, hit in the air to right field. Dennis DeBanning shades over, and he's got it. Just a couple steps shy of the track. A quick out number one here for Corrente and the Cardinals, but digging in now will be Caden Cardoso, who had a monstrous two-run homer in the first inning. Never mind, jumped the gun. Cardoso keeps fooling me out there. London doesn't seem to have a bat boy, so he is by default the one who's going out to get the bat of whoever's just hit. That's twice now he's got me. Gotta be on my toes. Instead, it's Eduardo Diolio, who isn't much less of a threat. As I mentioned earlier, he's been tearing these Cardinals to shreds this season. 1-0 pitch is golfed down the left field line, headed toward the corner, and that ball is foul. It would have been fair if it was gone, but third base ump Scott Costello signals foul. Don't think there was too much of a debate about that one. That was a barreling line drive, headed right toward the pole. But instead, it's just a strike. And now there's another as Diolio swings and misses at that pitch in the dirt. Down 1-2 now. Here's the pitch from Corrente inside. We mentioned how Cardoso has more or less been the MVP of this Majors offense. Diolio is pretty much right behind him, hitting .289 on the year. OPS of 746 coming into today. Offense from the catcher position is always at a premium, and Diolio provides that, especially here against these Cards. The 2-2 to Eduardo is inside. Another two-strike delivery hit on the ground to third. Keeler Loveridge is up with it and throw to first in time. So 2 up, 2 down, and now it's Caden Cardoso. Dennis DeBanning didn't even move out in right field when Cardoso sent that first pitch offering from Corrente over the wall. It's interesting, among all Cardinals pitchers with at least 20 batters faced, Rich Corrente has the highest rate of pitches in the strike zone at 59%. So he's pounding the zone, it's just that he's allowing damage a little bit too often. His stuff's not playing in the zone as well as he would like. Second pitch there to Cardoso, hit on the ground to first. Josh Niles has it, calls off Corrente, and runs to the bag himself. So a 3 up, 3 down inning there for Rich Corrente and the Cardinals. Hopefully for Hamilton, a momentum swing going bottom 3 here watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Let's check back in with our good friend Emily.
All right, fans, how are we feeling right now? Okay. Now, though, it is time for a Little Caesars giveaway. Oh, come on, let me hear ya. I want to hear go, Puck, go, Houston, going nice and loud.
Treat yourself to a famous Little Caesars hot and ready pizza. Visit their convenient locations in Hamilton or order online at littlecaesars.ca, where great pizza is always ready for you.
Welcome back inside Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium here, getting set for the top, or bottom, sorry, of inning number 3. Keeler Loveridge will lead things off here for the Cardinals. Loveridge getting his first start in the lineup in quite a little bit here, but Coley and Tomasi and Connor Hicks, previously fixtures on the position player side of things, have both gone back to school, so Loveridge draws in at third, and he hits the first pitch he sees in the left field for a base hit. And that is how you make an impression. Loveridge was the pinch runner for the man coming up to the plate right now, Evan Simons. And he scored the tying run in the top of the 9th for the Cardinals. And now he is on for the man he pinch hit for, or pinch ran for on Sunday. Simons will dig in here, batting 9th at the DH spot. Cardinals have the leadoff man once again on for, as they face Braden Farrington here, who's in his 3rd inning of relief work. He hasn't given up a run through the first 2. Simons, ever since the Cardinals brought him in at the signing deadline a couple weeks ago, he has been a crucial presence at the bottom of their lineup. The 0-1 hit on the ground to third. To second for 1, and over to first by Chanderdot, but not in time. Simons will reach on the fielder's choice to bring up Raquelbin de Castro. Since de Castro has come over to Hamilton, he has shown an incredible ability to get bat on ball. What he lacks in discipline, he makes up for in just really pure electricity up there. He makes contact, he runs, and he plays a good shortstop. First pitch to Raquelbin, lined out toward the gap in left center. Garner charging, and he makes another nice running catch. He's had to make 2 nice running plays out there. Manning center, and he tracks another one down. So pretty quickly here, 2 gone now following the leadoff base hit by Loveridge. And Luis Bernardo is going to step in with 2 outs. Simons the lead from first. Braden Farrington looks in for the sign, and the pitch is up high. And once again, the revolving door of guests I have up here in the booth continues to swing. Starting pitcher for the Hamilton Cardinals, Corbin Peters, joins me tonight. How are you, Corbin?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Appreciate you joining me following your nice start on Sunday. Figured it wouldn't be too much to ask, seeing as you're probably not throwing today. You had your stuff working on Sunday in London, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really good day. Just had a really good feel for everything.
Big win for the guys, too.
Yeah, we were super pumped, honestly. That was a big one. We're hoping to get this one here, too, tonight.
I was pumped watching it because, you know, you get that win. It's a winning weekend, and then you have the positive momentum coming in to face these guys again today.
Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely a big game for us because I'm pretty sure this is all of our seeding right here.
Pickoff move to first by Diolio, but Simons is back in. How's your arm feel, Corbin? You've been getting stretched out going back into the rotation. Any issues so far?
Not really, honestly. It was pretty sore Monday morning, but today I'm pretty good. I played catch today. It wasn't that bad. So, honestly, it's like not really that much of an adjustment to make because in the offseason I was doing a lot to make sure I was more prepared for playoffs and stuff this year.
Right. That's what Dennis was telling me. We had him up in the booth a couple Sundays ago. He spoke to that fairly well. The 2-2 to Bernardo swung on and missed. A beautiful breaking ball there from Farrington to end the inning and strand a runner. We are through 3 here at Bernie Arbor. Majors lead the Cardinals 3-0. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
London as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Now let's check back in with our good friend.
First of all, make some noise for my
Sometimes the littlest things can make the biggest difference. Like nature brightening your day. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong Bird Food. Feeding Cardinals since 1986.
down to the ground, forehead right on the end there. And when I say go, you're gonna start spinning. You fellas ready? 1, 2, 3, spin! Here we go. Here we go. Keep that back down. Keep that back down. Keep it going. We got lots of time right now. Keep that back down. And run! Here we go. All right, can we get a go card go? Go cards go, rotate.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. You're watching Cardinals baseball here. Matt Creeley and Cardinals starting pitcher Corbin Peters with you here on Cable 14. Majors lead 3-0 going top of 4, and we have a pitching change. The first domino of this bullpen game has fallen. Rich Corrente, the left-hander, goes 3 innings for Hamilton, gives up 3 runs on 4 hits, no strikeouts or walks. 33 strikes to 12 balls, so once again, pretty good job of filling up the zone, but the story in the early innings was 2 home runs from London, courtesy of Caden Cardoso. As there's a chopper to third base, Keeler Loveridge is up throwing in time to get Starling Joseph. And there's one quick out here in the 4th.
Stepping up to the plate, the center fielder, number 19, Champ Garner.
So Champ Garner stepping in for London now. He had the second, of course, of those 2 home runs. Stephen Hospital is subbed in for Rich Corrente here. First pitch outside to Garner. So Corbin, this is my first year working with the team, but I've heard great stories about your somewhat legendary 8-inning performance against Barrie in the playoffs last year. What do you think? You clearly relish the opportunity to pitch in big spots. We see you're always competitive out there on the mound. You've got a no-nonsense attitude out there. How do you mentally prepare for a big spot like that, and how do you think you excel in those kind of spots?
Honestly, like the easiest way that I prepare for things like that is just not to think about how big of like a start it is or how big of a game it is. Just like treat it like it's a normal game. I think the thing that I flawed in college was I overthought a lot of the situations I was in, and just trusting the fact that I've practiced pretty much like my whole life to be in those spots, in those situations, and just go out there and perform.
Yeah, and it's so easy to say that, but to actually go out and do it and be able to process that mentally is another thing. So sure, we're all looking forward to you having another big outing under the bright lights here at Bernie Arbor these playoffs.
I'm looking forward to it, hoping to get under.
Do you have a preference between starting at home or on the road in the playoffs? Because it's a loud environment no matter what, but it's either hostile or you're at home.
Actually, I've never started on the road in playoffs.
Okay.
I've only ever pitched at home.
Okay.
I've always come out of the bullpen on the road, and I mean, I feel like coming out of the pen is just the same everywhere else, but yeah, I've never actually started a game on the road.
Interesting. So Brad Verhoeven stepping in for London now. Counts 1-0 on him following an infield single by Champ Garner. Hospital's delivery's fouled away, and we're back even. Corbin, the bullpen's undergone a pretty big transformation this season, and I'm sure you've gotten to know a lot of the guys out there throwing for us now. What do you think the biggest difference is in the quality of arms that we've got in the bullpen now compared to seasons past, and could you speak to how we might be more prepared for a deep playoff run here in Hamilton with this new look bullpen?
I think with our bullpen this year is we are very stacked, and like this is the first year I've played on a team that in the bullpen has more lefties than righties that there is, and I think that everybody is at least good for 2 to 3 innings, which is something like we haven't had in the past, where we've had a lot of 1-inning guys, and like we haven't had guys that could go out and if needed to go 3 can go 3, and I think that's something that's going to change this year and make it a better playoff run for us.
The 2-1 to Verhoeven fouled back. Champ Garner stole second. A few pitches ago. So Verhoeven now has a man in scoring position. And speaking of left-handers in the Cardinal bullpen, that appears to be Jacob Gadzik out there warming up. Stephen Hospital working through his first inning of relief work. We'll see if it's his only one. He had a very quick six-pitch inning on Friday against the Welland Jackfish. Another 2-strike offering to Verhoeven. In the dirt, Bernardo blocks it. And Verhoeven has worked the count full. There was an interesting setup here between innings. Andrew Johnston, who, as I mentioned earlier, got hit in the face with a pitch in Guelph on Saturday. His black eye is so bad, and he also is getting some just maintenance work done on his shoulder, so he can't exactly throw right now. So he was catching Hospital while he was warming up, and other Cardinals reliever Connor Corey was throwing the ball back to the mound. Pretty different setup there for Hospital's warm-up as he loses the number 7 hitter Verhoeven here on ball 4. So it'll be Noah Williams coming up to bat with 2 on and 1 out, and a run-scoring opportunity here for the bottom of the majors order. Williams, the big lefty, hitting DH. He was a central figure in that 9th inning comeback by the majors here at Bernie Arbor a couple weeks ago. He got on base and scored. On the way to the majors extra inning win. Runner goes to third. Throw by Bernardo is way in time. Champ Garner was out by a few feet there. He stole second off Bernardo, but he couldn't get third. And the Cardinals get a big second out. And that changes things up pretty favorably for the Cardinals here. As a 1-1 pitch on the way to Williams is swung on and missed. He was expecting something else there, Hospital, with a pitch that was biting away. Williams went fishing. Gadzik still loosening in the Cardinal bullpen. Pitch to Williams, swung on and missed, strike 3. Great work by Stephen Hospital to work around a couple base runners. We are through 3.5 here at Bernie Arbor. Score still 3-0 London. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
3-0 for London as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Now let's check back in with our good friend Emily.
Fans, we want to see your selfies. Take a picture of you enjoying tonight's game. Tag us at Hamilton Cardinals for your chance to win tickets to the next home game, which is Friday. Let's go, Cards. And all my new friends from Spain, let me see your photos. Christina, Amber, Rachel, photo it up.
Welcome back inside Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium here. Bottom four coming up for the Cardinals. They are down 3-0 to the London Majors, 3-4-5 in the lineup. Will hit this inning against Braden Farrington, who begins inning number 4, and he is slowly doing a massive favor here for his team. Again, they are in a tough stretch of their schedule. Their bullpen is taxed. It's going to be taxed some more over the next few days, and Farrington, who is usually a reliever, is eating some quality innings right now as an opener. But he's got to face the heat of the Cardinals order right here, and Tyler Duncan wastes no time swinging at the first pitch and golfing it out to left center for a double. Right up the power alley, and Duncan with a nice quick leadoff extra base hit to put a man in scoring position for Dennis DeBanning.
Stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 16, Dennis DeBanning.
DeBanning has been very reliable in these situations for the Cardinals this year. Man in scoring position, less than 2 out. You know he's looking to do damage. Duncan saw Farrington well that time. We'll see if this time through the order the Cardinals' fates change, as they've been held scoreless up to this point. The 1-0 to DeBanning. Hit on the ground right side and through into right field for a base hit. Duncan racing around third. The throw to the plate by Starling Joseph is not in time. Duncan slides in safely just ahead of a throw. It was a bit of a yard sale there at home plate as Duncan slid head first and nearly took out home plate umpire Preston Hughes. But safe is the call. Everybody's okay. And Dennis DeBanning with yet another clutch RBI base hit to put the Cardinals on the board. Score is now 3-1. Matt Creeley and Corbin Peters with you here on Cable 14. And Corbin, the Cardinals lineup obviously saw some change at the deadline a couple weeks ago, and with so many of the position players going off to school, how do you feel about the depth of this lineup come playoff time?
Honestly, I feel like our depth is still pretty good. We're going to have a little bit of a struggle if we have some injuries, but
right.
I think that us putting out our lineup is still a really good lineup, and it's going to be a solid one to get going. I think the biggest worry is just going to be that everybody stays completely, fully healthy throughout this whole playoffs.
Yeah, bench would be a little thin if somebody goes down.
But I'm pretty sure we have a few of our junior guys are going to start to show up here on Friday and Saturday.
That's
Should be
good.
able to get the length and the amount of guys we have here.
Josh Niles flies out to medium depth center. Dennis DeBanning will stay at first base. One down here for Brendan Daly.
Making his way to the plate, the left fielder, number 97, Brendan Daly.
First pitch to Daly is popped up on the infield. Chanderdot and Cardoso are over there, but it'll be the second baseman, Jagan Chanderdot, to make the play. And now there's 2 gone. Cam Gravel will look to keep the inning going following the RBI base hit by Dennis DeBanning to put the Cardinals on the board. It's still pretty quiet out there in the London bullpen. We've got 1 guy stretching, and that's about it. So perhaps Farrington isn't quite done. His longest outing this year was, again, 5 2/3 innings, making a spot start earlier in the season. Runner goes, DeBanning off to second. The throw by Diolio is in time, and they caught him stealing, and that is your inning. But the Cardinals managed to get themselves on the board. Dennis DeBanning with an RBI single to the opposite way. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Scores 3-1 going top 5 here. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
All right, everyone, we're keeping the energy going. We're on the board. Let's make some noise right now. Hands up. Let's go. I have my friends here
for your Cardinals, number 23, Jacob Gadget.
Still a ways away from downtown, but yeah.
Hey there, fans. This fifth inning is brought to you by Tripemco Insurance. Tripemco Insurance Group is proud to support the Hamilton Cardinals. They are Canadian insurance brokerage that have been delivering trusted advice to business in our community since 1983. Learn more at tripemco.com. Stepping up to the plate, second baseman, number 39, Jagan Chanderdot.
Yeah.
Welcome back inside Bernie Arbor Stadium here, going top 5. Jagan Chanderdot leading things off for the London Majors, the number 9 hitter. And the bullpen game for this Cardinals team rolls on here as Jacob Gadget, the flame-throwing lefty, has come in here to be the third pitcher of the day for his squad, facing 9-1-2 in this Majors order. Matt Creeley, Corbin Peters with you on Cable 14 here. And Corbin, you've been fun to watch on the mound this year. You pound the zone. You also get a lot of chase on your stuff. You got one of the highest chase rates on the team. Your stuff plays in the zone, which can really be a difference maker for a pitcher. What do you think that has done to kind of elevate your game throughout the season?
Honestly, I think it was until you told me a few days ago where you were saying I had the most like first pitch strikes on the team, and then there was like the chase rate as well. I had no clue I even had that. I thought that there was a bunch of other guys in the pen that had better stuff than I have, that they get people swinging on stuff that I don't normally. But I guess it just seems to play as a high to me that everything tunnels through the same spot.
Right on. And there's a swing and a miss by Chanderdot. Gadget gets him to chase the high heat. Cardinals staff with their second strikeout of the day so far. And that'll turn the Majors order over for Gibson Krasminski, the shortstop, switch hitter. And he will continue to bat here from the right side as the Cardinals have another lefty in there. First pitch from Gadget to Krasminski is inside. The 1-0 from Gadget is fouled back. The IBO website doesn't have splits for switch hitters. Gibson Krasminski, we can only see his overall stats. We can't see it by handedness. But on the season overall from both sides, he's batting .279 and getting on base at a .369 clip. So respectable numbers. If I had to base it off of what he's done against the Cardinals this year, I would estimate that he's more comfortable from the left side of the plate, but who knows? We've got word from one of our Cable 14 guys, Kane, downstairs, that foul ball finally hit the camera, so we finally manifested it. Looks on the monitor like it's no worse for wear. So Luis Bernardo has called time here on a 1-1 pitch to Krasminski. He's going out to talk to Jacob Gadget, and he's also called home plate umpire Preston Hughes over.
It's because Gadget can't see the signs.
What makes you say that? What did you see?
Gadget went like this, which is
Okay.
our cue to show
Yeah.
Luis that we have no clue what he's throwing down.
Interesting. Okay. This is the insight. This is why we got to have more players up in the booth. Appreciate it, Corbin.
No problem.
Does that have to do with just the lighting or the way the shadows are, or was Hughes maybe standing in such a way that his shadow made it hard to see?
And usually around this time, Luis's fingers start to blend in with the ground a little bit.
Right.
Like it's just kind of like the lighting and the darkness. Just you can't see what he's throwing down all the time.
Right.
And better to go out and talk to him than just guess away at it.
Yeah. Without a doubt. He's got Krasminski in a 1-2 hole here. The pitch by Gadget is outside. He tried a nice backdoor slider there, but it didn't bend quite all the way back over the plate.
It's actually funny enough. I actually messed up signs with him in in London on Sunday.
Yeah.
The day game. So
Guess it can happen anytime.
it's just gonna happen.
Did it come back to bite you? Did a guy reach base or?
No, actually, that was the ball Cleveland hit into center field.
Okay.
I was supposed to throw a slider, and then ended up throwing a fastball.
Huh.
That is
Well,
another
whatever the
strike
issue was with
four.
Gadget seeing the sign seems to have been fixed right there as he got Krasminski fishing on a low breaking ball.
The third baseman, number 14.
That can't be a fun at bat for anybody, no matter what side of the plate you're coming from. Having to face a hard slider like that on 2 strikes. Good luck. As Krasminski is retired for the 3rd time today, that'll bring up Victor Plaz. Plaz is 1 for 2. He doubled and then scored on the Caden Cardoso home run in the 1st inning. First pitch inside. Gadget's got that breaking pitch working beautifully. The 0-1 to Plaz, the 3rd baseman, taken outside. Gadget's fun to watch pitch, Corbin, because you can tell he's got great stuff. Well, who do you think has the nastiest pitch on the team out of everybody? And what pitch do you think it is?
Nastiest pitch on the team? Oh, that's a hard one, honestly.
There's some good ones.
I would have to say that probably Corey's changeup is
Ooh.
pretty disgusting.
Was that the one he got Joseph on Sunday?
No, well, he got Joseph on all fastballs, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that was I don't know, that was a tough day for Starling. He just wasn't being himself a little bit.
He was unhappy. That was quite the bat slam after that strikeout.
Yes, it was. I'd say that Corey's probably got the best pitch on the team. His changeup tunnels really, really well, and it moves quite a bit.
It's a good answer. Corey's been one of the more dependable righty relievers out of the Cardinal bullpen this year. 2-2 pitch from Gadget coming into Victor Plaz. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Nice inning there for Jacob Gadget. He strikes out the side in the top of the 5th, and the score is still 3-1 London. We're going bottom 5 here at Bernie Arbor. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Hey fans, as you know, your Hamilton Cardinals have clinched a spot in this year's Dominico Cup playoffs, and we are going to need all of your help to protect this nest. For all playoff information, please follow our social
Welcome back inside Bernie Arbor Stadium. Bottom 5 coming up here for the Hamilton Cardinals. They still trail the London Majors 3-1. Braden Farrington, who was going into this game as the opener, has done a hell of a lot more than just open. This is his 5th inning of work, and the bullpen is still quiet. Cam Gravel leading off the inning for the Cardinals. Gravel 0 for 1. He had that deep fly out to left center his first time up. He takes strike 1 to start off this half inning. Matt Creeley and Cardinals starting pitcher Corbin Peters are with you here on Cable 14 as Gravel hits a fly ball to basically the exact same spot in left center, and this time it drops in. Garner and Verhoeven converged on it, much like Gravel's first at bat, but this time neither of them could haul it in as he manages to drop it into that Bermuda Triangle out there between the fielders.
Stepping up to the plate, the third baseman, number 2, Keeler.
And Cam Gravel this time is rewarded for making solid contact and putting it in the air. Those are 2 extremely well hit balls for him tonight. And with Keeler Loveridge set to take his swings, Majors manager Roop Chandradot is out to have a meeting with Farrington. Nobody is warm in the Major bullpen, so this figures to just be a mound visit instead of a pitching change. As some bodies are making their way over to the bullpen amidst this mound visit, so that leadoff double by Gravel seems to have put the Majors on high alert here. This is the number 8 hitter for the Cardinals, so with the top of the order looming, there figure to be some changes in the not too distant future in the London bullpen. First pitch to Keeler Loveridge is fouled away. Keeler rocked a hard grounder into left field for a base hit his first time up. And the Cardinals would love it if he could do that again with speedy Gravel in scoring position. Gravel dancing off second. Pitch to Loveridge is lined into left field, and that ball is down, and it will roll all the way to the wall. Gravel around third, he will score. And how about Keeler Loveridge from the 8-hole? 2 for 2, single, and now an RBI double. And he crushed both of them. Do you know, Corbin, when Keeler found out that he was starting today? Because he hasn't hit in quite some time.
So Keeler always hits BP just to stay ready.
Yeah.
But I don't know when he was told that he was going to be playing today at third base. I had no clue. I thought he was in the bullpen with us.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And that's the thing, because we've seen Keeler pitch a few innings in relief, especially in games like this when the bullpen's tired. I know for games that I've broadcasted, he has pitched more than he's hit, but he's leading the charge offensively today. So now with the number 9 hitter Evan Simons up, the bunt play is on. Man on second, nobody out. And in my opinion, this is where the bunt play makes the most sense if you can get it down successfully. Because if Simons can move Loveridge over, the sac fly is in play. Especially for Raquelman DeCastro, a high contact hitter. The 0-1, Simons shows again. This time he gets it down. It is fair. Caden Cardoso charges in to make the play. Jagan Chandradot covering first. But mission complete as far as Evan Simons is concerned. The sacrifice does indeed move Loveridge over to third, and Raquelman DeCastro will come up to bat for the third time here. And he doesn't necessarily have to get a hit here to score Loveridge from third and tie this game. These Dominican guys and their walk-up songs, always a hit. Luis Bernardo has practically trademarked El Loco here. And everybody seems to love DeCastro's too. The 0-1 is up high. Would you say DeCastro is acclimatizing to being a Cardinal well, Corbin?
Oh yeah, no, he's very happy. He's very welcome around us, and he always is hanging out. He's having a really good time being here.
Seems to be a good personality. 1-1 is hit in the air to left field Verhoeven went back. Now he comes in and makes the catch, but that one is too shallow to score. Keeler Loveridge, but the throw in gets away, and Loveridge will come home and tie this game up. How about that? DeCastro got it in the air like he was supposed to. Verhoeven made the catch in left field. It was not deep enough. Loveridge stayed at third, but his throw into the catcher, Eduardo Diolio, bounced over his head and rolled all the way to the backstop. And there's a ton of fallow ground here at Bernie Arbor. And Loveridge is able to come home on the error, and we've got a brand new ball game. So the bases are empty with 2 outs. Tie ball game. Luis Bernardo's coming up to bat here. First pitch from Verhoeven, hit on the ground to short. The play there by Krasminski to first, and Cardoso can't dig the throw out of the dirt. Tough to say whether it's a hit or an error on that one. And it looks like Josh, our PA and audio guy, took charge with that sound effect and decided for himself that that is going to be an error on Krasminski. So a 2-out error for the Majors, and things are starting to unravel on him a bit here as Tyler Duncan's now going to get to hit. He scored the game's first run for the Cardinals last inning as he shot an RBI double up the power alley in left center and came around to score following Dennis DeBanning's base hit. First pitch to Duncan is high and outside. Especially as the games have gotten to matter more, Corbin, how would you assess the team's situational hitting of late?
Honestly, these last few games, it's been amazing. Like, just getting the guy over, moving him. Like, I feel like that's something that we progressively get stronger as a team. Just being able to feel like, oh, it's time to get a bunt down instead of taking a big swing on these certain hacks. It's honestly, it's gotten a lot better.
And it was in full force that inning as the Cardinals scored 2 to tie it up. Brand new ball game here in Bernie Arbor, folks. The score is 3-3, London and Hamilton. We are through 5. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. Yeah, what? They're on somebody, I feel like. It was.
Hey there, fans. This 6th inning is brought to you by Sabermetrics, proud sponsor of your Hamilton Cardinals.
Go blue. How hard does blue throw?
Oh, he sits around like.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. We've got a tie ball game here between the London Majors and Hamilton Cardinals as we get set for the top of inning number 6. Next man up into the bullpen for the Cardinals is young right-hander Callum Blue. He will face Eduardo Diolio here to lead things off. First pitch is high for ball 1, and this is about the highest leverage spot that Blues pitched in this year. Tie game, 6th inning, and 3-4-5 in a very strong London lineup. First pitch to Diolio is blooped into left field for a base hit. That one was way in on the hands, but he kept his swing just long enough that it drops in fair territory, and the leadoff man is on for Caden Cardoso.
Plate first baseman number 34, Caden Cardoso. Oh my God! I almost died.
Cardoso had that big home run in the first inning. Callum Blue on the mound, of course, is one of those players of kind of the Keeler Loveridge ilk. He has provided some depth in the bullpen and on the infield this year as Blue came in as a defensive substitution late in Sunday's game, played some first, and he got an at-bat in against Victor Payano, which anybody will tell you isn't too much fun, especially if you're a lefty who hasn't hit in a while. 1-0 to Cardoso is lined into left center field, and this one's going to get down into the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Diolio's getting the wave around third. The relay throw by Daly is cut off, and Caden Cardoso continues to torment these Cardinals. An RBI double the opposite way, and the Majors retake the lead here 4-3.
Stepping up to the plate, right fielder number 7, Starling Joseph.
So the Majors waste no time off Callum Blue. A little soft liner by Diolio. I'm sure Blue's frustrated, but not much you could really do about that. And then the big man Cardoso comes up and flexes some opposite field power. Blue looking like he might be having an issue with his spike there. But no matter. Joseph digs in, and Bernardo wants to call time here. Yeah, that does seem to be what it is. The Cardinals were appealing that perhaps Diolio didn't touch third when he was rounding it, but that's not going to get anywhere. So we resume play here. Joseph with a man on second and nobody out. The Majors having just retaken the lead. Thanks once again to Caden Cardoso, who's driven in 3 of the 4 runs for his squad tonight against his former team. Based on the way Cardoso was carrying himself Friday and the way he's hitting tonight, Friday, by that I mean a couple Fridays ago when the Majors were in town, as he steals third without a throw, he seems to get up a little bit earlier for these games, playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder here in Hamilton. As he slid into third base and might have hurt himself there as he's danced off the bag and is in some pain. London's trainer isn't at this game today, so Cardinals head trainer Carlo Cardelli is out to check on Cardoso. Nobody was holding him on second, so he took off to third without a throw. And he slid into the bag pretty violently. Looks like he's okay. Cardelli walks back to the dugout. Cardoso looks like he's all good, and Joseph ahead in the count 2-0. Looks like left-hander Kate Kozak is warming up for the Hamilton Cardinals as this whole staff day moves on. And that 2-0 is golfed down the left field line by Joseph. It would have been way gone if it was fair, but it is foul. He got a 2-0 pitch to hit and got a little too excited. Does the mentality change for you at all, Corbin, when you're pitching in situations like this with runners in scoring position, less than 2 out, the opposing offense kind of bearing down on you?
Honestly, this position, like, the only thing that I'm really focusing on is just don't leave anything over the middle of the plate. Like, anything can, like, do damage, but the only thing that's really going to hurt you is if you throw an off-speed pitch over the middle or you groove a fastball right down the middle. Like, who cares if that run scores, but we getting out here in
Right.
this situation, because it's still, like, as much as it is late in the game, it is still early. Like, we need to get the outs. So in this situation, if you're leaving something over the middle, that's where you get hurt.
Yeah, nothing will really hurt you as bad as a home run. You'd take a sac fly or something like that instead any day of the week. The 3-1 pitch to Joseph is a called strike over the outside corner.
And it's just something that, well, Blue will learn, is that just learn your umpires too. Like,
Yeah.
he's been given the outside corner all day long. So if Poppy moves to the outside of the plate a little bit more here, you'll be able to get a strike 3 call on something that he'll look at.
The full count pitch to Joseph is off the plate outside. He didn't give it to him that time, and Blue doesn't like it. So he walks Joseph to bring up Champ Garner. And that'll put men on the corners with nobody out. The double play is now
The left fielder, number 19, Champ Garner.
in the realm of possibility here for these Cardinals. You want to look at a silver lining from Hamilton's standpoint. Garner, like Joseph just did, pummeled the ball foul down the left field line. A lot of loud contact for these majors tonight. First pitch swung on and missed. Nice way to start that at bat by Blue. Kozak still throwing in that bullpen for Hamilton. It looks like he will be next. The 0-1 is fouled back by Garner. Finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Garner, the center fielder, he's made a couple nice running catches out there today. And now he's looking to do some damage with the bat. Or some more damage, I should say. He's already got one of the major home runs today. He's 2 for 2. Been a big productive day for Garner here. The 1-2 from Blue. Joseph running. And the pitch is inside. So the double play is now no longer in effect. And if Garner can find some outfield grass here, the Majors will take back the 3-run lead that they possessed for most of this game. The 2-2 hit on the ground up the middle. Sliding play by Loveridge at second. The throw to first is in time. Looks like the Cardinals have made some defensive changes as Stephen Whalen appears to be at third base. Loveridge at second. And Gravel has been lifted. Chris Piano, Cardinals manager, is out to the mound. And he's calling for the lefty Kozak with the lefty Brad Verhoeven coming up. So Callum Blue's day is done. He did well to get that out there and get the Cardinals one step closer to getting out of it, but he leaves responsible for the men on second and third. So Cade Kozak, who hasn't pitched in a little bit, is going to come into a pretty tough spot here against Brad Verhoeven with runners on second and third, trying to keep the Majors lead at 1 and tightrope out of this inning. So it's a bullpen game for both of these teams, and if you think the Cardinals have it tough running short of arms, you should see London's schedule. Like Hamilton this weekend, they played 3 games. They're playing here tonight. And then tomorrow, they begin something that I can't imagine would be fun for anybody. 3 straight games against the same opponent. The Guelph Royals and London Majors will do battle 3 times over the next 4 days. And that will probably determine who Hamilton plays in the first round. The Majors are in the thick of an 8 games in 10 days stretch. And all the rain early in the season necessitated that. And it can't be fun. Their bullpen figures to be exhausted by the end of it, and they will welcome that short break before the playoffs more than anybody. And whoever can beat up on each other the most over those next 3 games, Corbin, is probably who you guys are going to be seeing in the playoffs. Do you guys standings watch much in the clubhouse this time of year, or is it something generally out of sight, out of mind?
I wouldn't say it's like out of sight, out of mind. It tries to be, we try to keep it out of the way, but I can definitely say that the last few weeks I've just been looking at who we're going to play and kind of trying to line up what I need to do and like what is the best strategy for any of us to go in there and think about, like pitching wise at least.
Right, and it's human nature. You can't fight it. You can only do that for so long. But as long as you're not letting it get to your head and you're thinking about it in a strategy sense, then I don't think it can hurt.
Yeah, and I think it's more just like excitement for me. Like,
yeah.
I like the playoff atmosphere. I like how it feels. It's like a different game. So it's for me, it's more just like knowing who we're playing, where we're going. Like, it's pretty exciting to do that.
Well, Eric Spearin and the rest of the Cardinals staff, the way they talk to me about playoff baseball here, they make it sound like a blast. And I will watch playoff baseball, watching the major leagues, over anything in October, so I can only imagine how fun that would be to be up close and personal to it here. First pitch by Kozak on the ground to second. Keeler Loveridge can't come up with it. And the infield hit for Brad Verhoeven's going to score another run.
Stepping up to the plate,
And the Majors lead now 5-3.
Noah Williams.
So Kozak, on his first pitch of the game, gets what he wants. Lefty-lefty matchup, and Verhoeven with a soft grounder. But it dies in that Bernie Arbor grass. The runner scores, and the Majors now lead by 2. Noah Williams next to come in. This is clearly what manager Chris Piano had in mind with a couple lefties due up. He wanted southpaw Cade Kozak to get to work against them, and he's ahead 0-1 here of Noah Williams. That pitch gets away. Bernardo can't find it, and the runners will advance. Joseph up to third, and Verhoeven to second. Cade Kozak this year signed out of Western Canada to be a piece in this Cardinal bullpen, and there's no denying that the stuff is there, Corbin, but the command has been a struggle for him at times, but he's got quite the lively arm down there.
No, yeah, his arm is very lively. I think he's got some of the better stuff on the team as well. I think it's between him and Corey, honestly, out of all the guys that we got in the pen. But, yeah, the command's been 50-50 for most of the time.
And it's swings like that Kozak just induced from Noah Williams that make it easy to see why they were excited to have him here.
No, he's a very powerful arm, honestly. I think the thing that we're just missing there is, once again, the command, but it seems to have it tonight. And he's been having it the last few outings, I believe, that he's been better into the zone.
If Kozak can harness that stuff, he will be an absolute game changer out of the Cardinals bullpen, and he gets a big strikeout there as Noah Williams is down looking. So Jagan Chandradat, the number 9 hitter, will try and keep this inning going and get a few more runs across for London. First pitch from Kozak is down and away. So both those runs are charged to Callum Blue. He is also responsible for Starling Joseph at third. The 1-0 is outside. We've got a right-hander warming up in the Majors bullpen, and a couple guys moving around and starting to stretch out there for Hamilton as we make our way into the later innings of this one. The 2-0 to Chandradat is fouled back, and Kozak trying to get back in this count here as there's strike 1. Looks like Colby Ring is out there throwing a weighted ball against the fence.
I was going to say, I think that's Colby. That's getting warmed up for us next.
2-1. Inside, check swing, no appeal. And Chanderdot is ahead 3-1. Big pitch coming up here if you're Kozak. He'd rather avoid turning the order over to Gibson Krasminski, who has struggled from the right side of the plate tonight, but Chanderdot is the 9-hitter. 3-1, swung on and missed. And that'll set up a pretty big payoff here. Joseph on third, Verhoeven on second. Big payoff pitch coming to Chanderdot, but Kozak has got to tie his shoe first. Cade slipped off the mound following his first warm-up pitch. Maybe that was why. The 3-2. Hit foul, first base side, headed toward those bleachers. And all the kids who go foul ball hunting here have scattered like fish, going under the bleachers for a souvenir. Another payoff pitch coming to Chanderdot. Kozak ready. The delivery hit foul again. Same direction. And Chanderdot's putting up quite the fight here. The short stature second baseman with his dad, Roop, the Majors manager, clapping at third in encouragement. Big spot here for the youngster.
It would be 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 left.
Another payoff. Call, strike 3. As Chanderdot is rung up by Preston Hughes and Cade Kozak is able to dance out of trouble. But the London Majors put 2 back up on the board and retake the lead 5-3.
3 hits on 2 runs.
It's been a barn-burning contest every time these two have faced off this season, and it sure looks like it'll be that way again tonight. You're watching Cardinals baseball going bottom 6 here on Cable 14.
On the Power Athletic Massage out-of-town scoreboard, in Kitchener, the Panthers and Red Sox are all tied at 2 in the bottom of the 5th. In Guelph, the Jackfish lead the Royals 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now on the mound for London, number 32, Tyler Gillies.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium, going bottom 6 here. Majors lead the Cardinals 5-3.
16, Dennis DeBanning.
That was a funny one. Josh Niles thought he was up to bat, but it was actually Dennis DeBanning. Niles talking to bench coach Aiden Muir down there by the dugout. I thought it was my turn. New pitcher on the mound for the Majors. Tyler Gillies, the right-hander. First pitch from Gillies is hit on the ground to third by DeBanning. The spin and the throw from Victor Plaz is right on the money. One quick out here for Gillies, who is the first man up out of London's bullpen following 5 decent innings from Braden Farrington. He was cruising right along. But then he gave up a run in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. But he leaves in line for the win. Josh Niles will bat next for Hamilton. Gillies also throws from the right side like Farrington. Looks like from up here he throws a little bit harder. And that first pitch to Niles is a strike on the inner half. The 0-1 is hit foul by Josh. And Gillies quickly ahead 0-2. We'll see if Victor Payano is in play tonight for these London Majors. He's their multi-inning lefty relief specialist. He throws hard. He threw 2 innings on Sunday. They might be wanting to save him for one of their million games they've got against Guelph coming up. The 0-2 is down and in. Niles' numbers on the season are nothing to sneeze at. He's got an OPS right around 700, but he's got some big clutch hits this season for Hamilton. And he hits that one on the ground and through in the left side for a base hit. Niles battles there, and that 2-strike pitch is served just past the sliding shortstop Krasminski for a 1-out single.
Play the left fielder, number 97, Brandon Daly.
Brandon Daly will hit next. Daly on the contest is 0 for 2. He didn't have much fun facing Farrington tonight. Strikeout and pop-up. And the first pitch from Gillies. Daly checked his swing, but I think it was going to be called a strike anyway. Matt Creeley and Cardinals starting pitcher Corbin Peters with you here on Cable 14. Thank you for tuning in on this somewhat unorthodox Tuesday night for some IBL action. Looking around the league, we mentioned earlier that it was a big day on the out-of-town scoreboard as the Kitchener Panthers were in line to clinch the league's final playoff spot with a win. They're tied 2-2 with Brantford in Kitchener, going top 6 there at Jack Couch. Daly takes a called strike 2.
Whalen on deck. Yeah, I know. Okay, so you got it. And Loveridge is at second.
So Stephen Whalen is on deck for the Hamilton Cardinals. He was put into the game playing third base. Keeler Loveridge moved over to second. It's Cam Gravel's spot in the order. So they'll swap out one left-handed hitter for another. 1-2, up and in, almost hit Daly. Whalen had a very tough day on Saturday and then a very solid day on Sunday. Baseball is about having a short memory sometimes as a hitter. One day can make all the difference for Steven. He's a good high contact bat, and he plays a good third base too. The 2-2 bounces in the dirt, and Niles is going to take second on the wild pitch from Tyler Gillies. So Daly has worked the count full now. And all of a sudden, he has a chance to drive in a run if he can find some grass here. Whalen on deck. And it'll be Keeler Loveridge, who's had quite the day waiting in the hole. 3-2 is a called strike 3. Daly not happy about it. But he is rung up by home plate ump Preston Hughes on the pitch down.
Stepping up to the plate, the third baseman, number 27, Steven.
So next up is Stephen Whalen taking his first cuts of the day. Recent entry into the game. When he came over from the Brantford Red Sox, we learned that Stephen is a recent graduate of Waterloo Engineering, so not only is he a ball player, but he's a pretty smart guy. First pitch outside. Engineering anywhere isn't easy. Waterloo must be a whole different ballgame, but Steven managed to do that, and he was a focal point on the university's baseball team past few years. One of the best hitters in the OUA this past season. As the 1-0 is swung on and missed. Whalen trying to keep the inning going. He's got a man in scoring position. Niles dancing off the bag there. The 1-1 from Gillies swung on and missed. Or looks like it was fouled. Deolio couldn't hang on, but no matter. It's strike two, dead ball. The Cardinals would love to get Keeler Loveridge up the way he's been swinging tonight. The 1-2 to Whalen, called strike three. So Tyler Gillies gets a couple of strikeouts looking following the Josh Niles base hit. And we're entering the back third of this ball game here. Cade Kozak coming back out for the top of the seventh for Hamilton. Your score is 5-3, and you're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. The Cardinals trail the Majors 5-3. We're going top seven. Cade Kozak got the last two outs of that sixth inning. Did a good job to minimize the damage. And he's back out here for the seventh. If he can complete this inning, he'll need just one more to qualify for the playoff roster. Top of the order for the Majors. We're going fourth time through now. It's Gibson Krasminski, who once again is being forced to bat from the right side here as a switch hitter against a lefty. He fouled out to Brendan Daly his first time up. He popped out to short his second time, and he struck out swinging his third time. Rich Corrente and Jacob Gadzik combining to make that happen. First pitch to Krasminski here is fouled away. I'm up here in the booth with Cardinals starting pitcher Corbin Peters, and Corbin, You're telling me over the break that you sit low to mid 90s velocity wise. You lead the team in strikeout rate. And we were talking earlier about how your stuff tends to play really well in the zone. When you're up there, and I know situations change depending on runners on and outs and what have you, but when you're on the mound, is your mentality constantly to attack and try and get strikeouts, or are you looking for a particular outcome, or are you just sticking to your process and hoping that results follow?
I don't usually fall off of what I've been trying to do. It's more just to attack the zone, and I'm big on getting the strikeout, but if they end up getting themselves out, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I think I only had 5 strikeouts in London, which 5 through 5 isn't that bad, but usually I have 7 to 8 there, which I was getting 6-pitch innings, 8-pitch innings, which I never usually get. So I think it's more just attack the zone, and if they start to cheat on a fastball, then you got to start moving things around. But other than that, just keep going right at them.
Does your arsenal differ at all, lefties and righties? Do you have a particular set of secondary pitches that you like to deploy against either hand? Because I know if you're a righty, most righties don't like throwing changeups to right-handed hitters. How does that kind of play out for you?
Yeah, I don't throw a lot of changeups to a right-handed hitter. That's fair, and I don't throw a lot of sliders to lefties. Just because I have the tendency to pull it across, and I don't want to hit somebody by any chance.
Speaking of, Cade Kozak just drilled Eduardo Diolio. Or Victor Plaz. This is what my emergency broadcast backup team is here for. Plaz is a little shaken up. He hasn't quite made his way over to first yet. And now, home plate umpire Preston Hughes and London manager Roop Chanderdot are having a conversation.
We're calling it a strike because he went around a bunt.
Okay. It looked like he pulled back, but not according to Preston Hughes, so that's no fun for Plaz. He's got a bruised shin, at least. Now he's got to swing again. So with nobody on and 1 out, Plaz was ready to bunt. He gets hit. And yeah, that's not a fun situation. He'll try and get himself in order here. Visibly limping on his way back to the box, but he'll have to battle now. As Kozak gets ahead 0-1 on a pitch that hit somebody. Not every day you can say that. So Diolio on deck and Cardoso after that. So if you're the Cardinals thinking ahead here to the next few batters, it could be pivotal that was called a strike. You don't want to have a runner on base for either of those guys. They've been Cardinal killer number 1 and Cardinal killer number 2 back-to-back this season and tonight. Plaz fouls that one back, and he's now down 0-2. Kozak is ready. Here it comes. Chop back to the mound. Kozak wants it. Bare hand throw to first, and it sails into right field. So the runner will reach anyway on a throwing error by Kozak. And Diolio will indeed hit with a man on. Manager Chris Piano is coming out here to talk to Preston Hughes. There's been a lot of conversations with the umpire so far this half inning. What do you think Piano could be talking to him about here?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure on this one. I would say it was either Plaz stepping out on the baseline here, but I don't think that would be the problem.
I think you might be right based on the body language and the nonverbal communication we're seeing here. Home plate umpire Hughes just pointing out that way in the general direction of the baseline. And now, Piano might be onto something.
Which, if that's the case, I'm pretty sure Plaz is out. We'll have 2 outs on the board here.
Talk about tough luck. The umps are now convening to talk about this. They're calling him safe after a quick conversation, but could you imagine being Victor Plaz? You squared a bunt on a pitch that hits you. You're hurt, and then you got to go swing again despite being hit by a pitch. And then getting called out on a base path violation would have been brutal. But he manages to avoid it. And we'll stand on first here with DiOlio coming up. We'll see if he's running. We'll see how hurt that leg really is here. Niles holding him on. Pitch from Kozak, chopped on the ground to third. It will roll foul. No play for Stephen Whalen. They'll take strike one. Pretty strong lead from Plaz over there at first base. I've never seen a first baseman set up for a potential pickoff play the way Niles does. That's interesting.
Yeah, neither have I.
He doesn't stand on the bag, and he's not really, he's kind of holding his glove right beside his face. Swing and a miss by DiOlio. Kozak gets him to chase the high heat there, and he's down 1-2. Cardinals have turned their fair share of pickoffs this year. DiOlio fouls that one away. Between Tanner Rempel at first base, Josh Niles at first base, I think Poppy's been at first base for one or two of them.
Oh, yeah.
Have you turned one this year? I can't remember.
I have not picked off this year.
I know Mizuki's got a bunch. Another two-strike pitch from Kozak to DiOlio. Swung on and missed, strike three. And that is a big out for Cade Kozak and the Cardinals.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 34.
DiOlio could not handle the high fastball that at bat. He couldn't lay off it, and he couldn't do anything with it when he went after it. So that sets up a pretty intriguing matchup. Power hitter versus power lefty pitcher. Lefty-lefty matchup. Kozak versus Cardoso. First pitch swinging, and he pops it way up. Stephen Whalen in foul ground has a beat on it and makes the catch. How about Cade Kozak tonight? 1 2/3 innings in relief. Just a couple hits, and he works around his own throwing error. We are going bottom 7. It's stretch time here at Bernie Arbor. 5-3 is your score. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Yeah.
Now to play the second baseman, number 2, Keeler Mumbridge.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. Bottom 7 coming up. The London Majors lead the Hamilton Cardinals by a score of 5-3. Tyler Gillies back out for his second inning of relief work after a scoreless 6th, and he will start off against Keeler Loveridge, who is 2 for 2 today with a couple screaming base hits, including an RBI double a couple frames ago. Matt Creeley and Cardinals pitcher Corbin Peters with you here on Cable 14. Great pitch there by Gillies. Getting ahead 1-2 on that fastball in the outer half. One, two, and Loveridge is frozen by that breaking ball. Strike 3 called.
Stepping up to the plate, the designated hitter, number 6.
Evan Simons, the rally starter from the 9-hole in the order, will come up for the 3rd time today. He laid down a nice sac bunt last time. I was thinking earlier today about how Simons had a leadoff walk in the 8th a couple games ago against Brantford to tee up that 6-2 victory. And he also reached as the leadoff man on Sunday before being pinch run for by Keeler Loveridge. So him getting on base to start one of the later innings has translated into a game-winning rally for these Cardinals multiple times in the past 2 weeks. He sees the ball really well, and if you can do that out of the 9 spot, it lengthens your lineup in a big way come playoff time. He was all over that pitch from Gillies, just a little late, fouls it back. We've got a right-hander warming up in the Cardinal bullpen down there.
Is that Cameron?
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like either Cameron or Casey Howard. 1-2, waved at and missed by Simons. Gillies bringing the heat. Corbin Peters telling me between innings that Gillies was a former Milwaukee Brewers farmhand. And in case you're unfamiliar with getting an affiliated contract with a major league club as a pitcher in today's day and age, if you don't throw hard, it's probably not going to happen. And that checks out here. Gillies has been all gas, no brakes this inning. A couple strikeouts, making quick work of the bottom of the Cardinals' order, which will bring up Raquelbin DeCastro, who keeps on hitting. A couple flyouts today, but in his first at-bat, he had a ground ball single into left field. One is up high. DeCastro ahead in the count, 2-1. Let's see if he can find something he likes here. He does, and he rips it into right field for a base hit. Takes the turnaround first. He's going for second. The throw by Starling Joseph is not in time. And a big hustle double there for Raquelbin DeCastro. And boy, you love to see that out of the leadoff spot. Got ahead in the count, got a pitch to hit, and he didn't try to do too much with it. He smoked it on the ground. Jack and Chanderdock couldn't handle it. Starling Joseph got to it in right field, but as it slowed down in the grass, DeCastro made a big turn, and he's got plus speed, and he was motoring into second base there to give Luis Bernardo a chance to get a little bit of a 2-out rally going here. First pitch from Gillies in there for strike 1. DeCastro hasn't taken a single walk since he came to Hamilton, but I don't think he cares. That's not his game. The 0-1 is in the dirt. DeCastro sprints over to third, and he's in there standing on the wild pitch. So scoring from second on a base hit by Bernardo wouldn't have been much of an issue for DeCastro, but he'll take the extra 90 feet anyhow. Tyler Duncan waiting on deck. Bernardo's had some clutch hits this year. And now would be a great time for another. Gillies looks in. Gets the sign and the 1-1 pitch. Lined into right center field for a base hit. Bernardo does exactly what he needs to do. He rifled that one into center to bring the Cardinals within a run, bringing home his countryman, Raquelman DeCastro. And Tyler Duncan will indeed step in, but not before a quick mound visit here from Roop Chanderdot. Tyler Duncan has been intentionally walked multiple times the past few games. We'll see if that's what Chanderdot is talking about. Of course, Dennis DeBanning after him would be no slouch. Kind of pick your poison there. Looks like it's just a mound visit. Nobody's warming with intent down in that bullpen. If Duncan can gap one, it'll be a close play. Bernardo's not the fastest guy, but with 2 outs, he'll be running on contact. The Cardinals are where they want to be for this 2-out rally. Bernardo comes through with a clutch base hit. Duncan at the plate. Dennis DeBanning on deck. Tyler Gillies trying to get out of it and get through 2 innings of relief work. If you told the London Majors that in the 7th inning they'd only be on their second pitcher tonight, I think they'd be pretty happy with the schedule they've got coming up. Great work by Farrington and Gillies to this point, clinging to a 1-1 lead. The 0-1 to Duncan swung on and missed. He took something off it there. Uncharacteristic swing from Tyler there. He's in an 0-2 hole. Big pitch coming here. Gillies is set. The 0-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. Duncan is down on 3 pitches. Gillies is able to reach back for a little extra following the RBI single by Bernardo. So the Cardinals cut the lead to 1, but London still has the advantage, 5-4. We are through 7 here at Bernie Arbor. Close one again between these two teams. You're watching Cardinals baseball on Cable 14.
My first professional glove, that's the one I remember the most. When I was coming up, even though it wasn't that long ago, having your name on a glove was a big deal.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. Top 8 on its way. The London Majors hold a slim 1-run lead over these Hamilton Cardinals. 5-4 is your score. And we talked about how going into it, the past 2 times these teams have played each other, it's been a playoff type atmosphere, and it is no different tonight. Matt Creeley, Corbin Peters with you here on Cable 14. Corbin's going to go back down and join his teammates for inning number 9. We appreciate his time tonight. Corbin, kind of looks like a series between these two teams would go the distance at this point. I don't want to jinx anything too early, but if it happens.
Yeah, a series between London would be pretty exciting. I don't think we're overpowered or underpowered against them. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens if that's who we end up lining up with.
It's pretty much been the most dead even matchup of all the Cardinals' opponents this year. Every game is close. Zach Cameron is on to pitch for the Cardinals here in the top of the 8th. He usually pitches in a tie game or with a slim lead in these kind of innings, but this time he'll be pitching with a slim deficit. The guy that they called Nightmare at Niagara University for the way he just tormented opposing hitters in relief is ahead 0-1 here early on Starling Joseph. And now he's ahead 0-2. Cameron has been one of the Cardinals' most effective relief pitchers since he signed here in the month of June. He has a 22.6% hard hit rate against. That is the 3rd lowest on the team. Only Stephen Hospital and Chris Boato so far have lower. The 2-strike pitch is high to Joseph. Cameron throws hard, he throws strikes. And he has been able to suppress damage so far to this point. The 1-2 pitch incoming to Joseph. Lined into left field, Brandon Daly going back on it, but he's got it. It falls into his glove harmlessly.
Stepping up to the plate,
For out number 1.
Number 19, Champ Garner.
Champ Garner will step in now for the London Majors. He had that line drive home run in inning number 2. Off of Rich Corrente. First pitch swung on and missed. Cameron wasting no time. With how stacked the bullpen is right now, Corbin, do you think the closer role in the playoffs is going to be handed over to Cameron or one other guy in particular, or do you think it's going to be kind of a by committee sort of deal?
I think the closing role is going to be Cameron's here. I think we lose Gadget at the end of the end of tomorrow, I think. But you know, Cameron's pretty solid out of the pen, and we all like to see him closing, so I think that's where his role will be.
1-1 is inside. Cameron pitched 2 innings in Guelph on Saturday in relief of yet another outstanding workhorse effort by Takaki Iguchi. And he's back on the hill here 72 hours later. Garner fouls that one away.
Yeah, Zach's definitely one of those pitchers that doesn't let any situation really get to him at all. Kind of up there with a one-track mindset, and that's to get the guy out at the plate.
I've always wondered how closers do it mentally. That ball's outside, 3-2. A lot of closers in and around all levels of baseball will confess that they have a bit of a crazy edge to them that allows them to feed off the high leverage situations like the one Cameron's pitching in right now. And there will be a lot bigger spots for him yet coming up, I'm sure, as we get closer to September and get into the playoffs here. Payoff pitch on its way to Champ Garner, the major center fielder. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That is another Little Caesars.
Cardinals pitchers have been racking up the strikeouts tonight. It started slow, but that pizza spear is getting pretty full.
The left fielder, number 13, Brad Verhoeven.
Classic high heat from Zach Cameron. Garner down on strikes. And with 2 out, nobody on, it'll be Brad Verhoeven, whose infield single in the 6th inning that scored a run is so far the difference in this game. That gave the Majors a 5-3 lead. Verhoeven's gotten on base twice today, the other time being a walk in the 3rd inning. The 0-1 swung on and missed, and Cameron is racking up those swinging strikes. The 0-2 pitch on its way to Verhoeven. Cameron trying to set up his bats here in the bottom of the 8th. Hit on the ground to short. DeCastro on the backhand. Throws to first in time. And it's a 1-2-3 clean inning for Zach Cameron. We're going bottom 8 here. It only gets more intense from here. London still up by a slim 5-4 score. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Our concessions and the merch perch will be closing at the conclusion of this inning. This is your last call.
You feel good going playoffs? Like about everything? Welcome back to Bernie Arbor. The score is 5-4. London Majors over the Hamilton Cardinals. The inning is the bottom of the 8th. Dennis DeBanning will lead things off for the Cardinals. 4, 5, 6 here due up in Hamilton's lineup. It's a tight game here between the Cardinals and Majors, just like it's been every time they've faced off. And Tyler Gillies is back out for inning number 3 of relief work. And I would say London has navigated this bullpen game successfully, given the schedule they've got coming up and all the bullpen management and the lineup management that they're going to have to navigate as they try and keep their guys from getting worn out here down the stretch before the playoffs. And there is a break before those playoffs start, but Braden Farrington and Tyler Gillies have done a fantastic job tonight, as London has minimized the dent on their bullpen today. You would think that Farrington was just another starter, given the fact that this is still only their second pitcher of the evening. 1-2 here on Dennis DeBanning is popped up into shallow right. Chanderdat chasing after it, and he gets under it for out number 1. The Cardinals now only have 5 outs to work with as Josh Niles
The first baseman, number 30, Josh
will come in.
Niles.
He's got a base hit tonight, 1 for 3 on the contest. His first at bat against Farrington tonight, he grounded out to third. First pitch strike. Matt Creeley and Corbin Peters with you here on Cable 14. And Corbin, that looks like Drew Mainprize out there in the Cardinal bullpen.
Yeah, that's true. That'll be Drew down there in the pen.
He's been a steady presence in the Cardinal bullpen here, one of their many left-handed relievers. As Niles is straight overmatched there by Tyler Gillies. Down on strikes. Gillies mowing him down here.
Number 97,
Brandon Daly will hit now. He is 0 for 3, went down looking on strikes his last time up on a call that he didn't really like. It was a pitch on the outer half. Preston Hughes has had a pretty easy time giving the outside pitch to the pitcher today. And he did it again there as Gillies clearly working with that in mind. As he got ahead with strike one, but Daly's back even after taking that one high. The 1-1 is fouled away. And Daly is now up against it here. Gillies has made quick work of the middle of the Cardinals' order this inning. The 1-2, down and away. So Corbin, there's 2 games left to go in the regular season and then the playoffs start. Do you know, and if you do, would you care to tell us, so I know you may not, but what game you might be starting in the first round?
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be Game 3.
Okay.
I'm sure that Mizuki and Noguchi are going to go before me. They're 2 very powerful pitchers, and they've been doing well all year, so I assume that we'll roll out with our big guys first, and then hopefully we'll just close it out in Game 3 and go home.
Love the mindset, and that is all we've got here from Corbin Peters tonight in the broadcast booth. Corbin, appreciate you joining me up here tonight. We are through 8 innings. London leads 5-4 going into the 9th here. You're watching Cardinals baseball on Cable 14.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
We head into the playoffs, and you won't want to miss this one. This Friday, August the 16th, your Cardinals take up the visiting Kitchener Panthers, and it is Fan Appreciation Night. You won't want to miss out on the giveaways, games, and of course dancing. Plus, we show our true appreciation for the best fans in the IBL. Remember, this Friday, we take on the visiting Kitchener Panthers at 7:35 p.m. presented by Carmen Group. Get your tickets for the game through Ticketmaster or at the box office.
Now on the mound for your Cardinals, number 7, Drew Mainprize. Pinch hitting for London, number 95, Charlie Bowman.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor. We're going top 9 here. The London Majors lead the Hamilton Cardinals 5-4, and we've got a pinch hitter and a new pitcher on the mound. Charlie Bowman, the left-hander. He started the last time the Majors visited the Cardinals here at Bernie Arbor, 2 Fridays ago. He's pinch hitting for the DH Noah Williams, so that figures to be a straight switch. And on the mound for the Cardinals is left-hander Drew Mainprize, who I believe last pitched a couple weeks ago in Kitchener. He closed out that game after an 8-inning effort from Mizuki Akatsuka. And a 10-5 Cardinals victory. That one grounded back to the mound. Great play by Mainprize. He snares it and throws to first in time to retire the pinch hitter Bowman. Mainprize has pitched well this year. Opponents hitting 250 off him, and they're only slugging 300. So he's done well to limit the damage. He has the second highest swinging strike rate of all Cardinals pitchers at 13.3%, so he likes to rack up the swings and misses. But that first pitch to Jagan Chanderdot is bounced in the dirt for ball 1. Main Prize also racks up the called strikes at a fairly high rate. His called strike percentage is 5th highest on the staff. Because of the way the ball comes out of his hand, opponents swing at pitches in the zone fewer for Main Prize than they do everybody else on the Cardinals staff except Jacob Gadzik. So Main Prize has been able to work in the zone without much damage against, despite not having the nastiest stuff on the team, because the way that his arsenal plays, opponents either frequently swing and miss, or they simply take it, and there's nothing wrong at all with a called strike if you're a pitcher. Jagan Chanderdot is up 2-0, or 2-1 rather, here on Drew Main Prize. The pitch swung on and missed. And a nice off-speed offering there for Main Prize as it slowly dove out of the zone, and Chanderdot could not hold back. Gibson Krasminski waiting on deck. 0 for 4 on the day, couple of strikeouts. The Cardinals clearly like the left-hand pitching matchup against Gibson, who has not had much luck hitting from the right side today as a switch hitter. Once again, like to thank Corbin Peters for donating some of his time tonight to join me up here in the broadcast booth. He is not in play to pitch today, obviously, because he threw on Sunday 79 pitches in his start in London against these very same majors. As Chanderdot lifts that one into shallow right, and Dennis DeBanning comes in to make the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up Krasminski. In my time here broadcasting for the Cardinals, I've been very lucky. A ton of guests have come up and joined me. Team owner Eric Spearin, right fielder Dennis DeBanning, and starting pitcher Corbin Peters. We appreciate the players, especially donating their time and giving their insights in. It's always fun to hear about the game, the way that the players see it. And Corbin, you can tell he's a very methodical pitcher, and he is very aware of what he's doing as he goes about his craft. And as a baseball fan, it's always fun to get really in the weeds about pitching, talking to someone like Corbin. He's very dedicated, and he's going to be a big part of this Cardinals rotation come the playoffs, especially with the recent departure of Brett Lawson. Corbin is, like he said, in line to start the 3rd game of a first-round series, which, if it breaks right for either team, could end up being an elimination game. Of course, the first round of the IBL playoffs is a best of 5, and we'll know the playoff schedule in the coming days as the regular season wraps up here. 0-2 pitch from Main Prize to Krasminski is flied into right, DeBanning over a few steps to his right and makes the catch. A clean top of the 9th inning for Drew Main Prize. And we are going bottom 9 here. The Cardinals are down by 1. 3 outs to go against these London Majors. 5-4 is your score. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium, and we've reached do or die time for the Cardinals. Down by 1, bottom 9th. It'll be 7, 8, 9 in the order. Stephen Whalen will lead things off, the third baseman. He entered the contest mid-game in place of Cam Gravel. And Tyler Gillies is going for the 4-inning save here. How about that? First pitch is outside to Whalen, and the Cardinals trying to send this one to extras at the very least. 1-0 to Whalen is outside. Good job by Steven to take the first two and get ahead. The pitch from Gillies. Up and away, 3-0. This building's getting louder, rallying in support of their hitters. As Whalen tries to start this 9th inning off right. The Cardinals came back and beat the Majors down by 1 going into the 9th on Sunday. Can they do it again here tonight? Ball 4 to Whalen. And that's how you want to start things off. And Keeler Loveridge is coming up. And before the game, most people in this building might have said that he was a candidate to get pinch hit for in this spot, but not with the day he's having. He struck out his last time up, but a hard single his first time up, and an RBI double all the way to the wall his second time up. And it'll be a mound visit here from Roop Chanderdot as he jogs out to the mound to talk to his pitcher Gillies. London's got a righty going in the bullpen, but this appears to just be a conversation rather than a substitution. Manager Chris Piano for the Cardinals and his hitter Loveridge briefly come in to talk strategy while the mound visit's going on, but that didn't last too long, and we're ready to get going. Loveridge with the leadoff man on and nobody out. Tying run at first. Loveridge represents the winning run at the plate. First pitch from Gillies. Loveridge gets the bunt down. Gillies fields it, throws to first in time. But the sacrifice works as the Cardinals trade and advance for an out. And they will have a man in scoring position for Evan Simons. They've got 2 more outs to try and tie this game where Kelvin DeCastro is on deck. Simons, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, has been usually starting these rallies for the Cardinals, and now he gets a big chance to keyhole it. First pitch in there for strike 1. Beautiful offering there from Gillies. Simons, of course, doing this against his former team. He had a brief cup of coffee with the London Majors in 2022, but was ultimately buried on that deep championship-winning roster. The 0-1 is in there for strike 2, and Gillies just pounding the corners this at-bat so far. Not much you can do if you're Simons there. Neither of those were great pitches to hit. Gillies has what he wants. Whalen the lead off second. And the 0-2. Chop foul, left side. Looks like Casey Howard getting loose in the Cardinals bullpen should this inning, or should this game rather, go beyond the 9th. Another 0-2 on its way to Simons. The pitch from Gillies. Up high, ball 1. Simons is going to have to battle now. We know he likes to be patient up there. And he'll have to stay very composed despite the chance to do something big here. And he calls time. Good use of a timeout there by Simons. Trying to disrupt Gillies' timing. And we're ready to go again. The 1-2. Called strike 3. Simons does not like it whatsoever. But he will manage to keep his cool going back to the dugout. And the Cardinals are down to their last out, and Raquelman de Castro is their final hope in this one here today. After this one tonight, the majors will continue on to Guelph. The Cardinals will be back in action on Friday against Kitchener as we wrap up the regular season. First pitch swinging to Castro. Whiffs on it for strike 1. Gillies going once again for the unconventional 4-inning save here on this bullpen day for the majors as they lead by 1. The 0-1, kind of a half swing from DeCastro, but I think it might have been in there anyway. And the Cardinals now down to their last strike. Whalen still at second base. The 0-2 pitch coming in from Gillies. Down and away. Nice block there by DiOlio. Whalen would have easily made it to third had he not gotten in front of that one. DeCastro trying to hang tough. He's batting for the 5th time in the game. And represents the last hope for his team. Gillies is set. The 1-2 pitch. Up high, ball 2. That breaking ball started high and it dropped down, but not far enough. DeCastro wise to lay off, and he's battled back here to a 2-2 count. Luis Bernardo on deck. He drove in the last Cardinal run. Should DeCastro reach? The 2-2. In there, strike 3. And that is your ball game. Tyler Gillies with an absolute masterclass out of the bullpen here for the London Majors. He locks it down, going 4 innings, allowing just the 1 run in relief of opener Braden Farrington. And the London Majors will take it by a score of 5-4. And more or less, this game was everything that we've come to expect from a contest between the Majors and Cardinals so far this season. Tightly contested, decided in the late innings, back and forth, fireworks, strong fundamentals. These two teams deliver an exciting product every time they face off, and today was no different. But the Majors will move to 3-2 on the head-to-head slate with this 5-4 victory, and will win the season series over the Cardinals. The Cardinals figure to face either London or Guelph in the playoffs. And if the 3 times that these two teams have faced off these past couple weeks here are any indication, that would be one heck of a series. But for now, there's still a few games left to go in the IBL regular season before we can get to that point. We will be back in action here on Cable 14 for Cardinals Friday Night Baseball, presented by Mountain Mitsubishi. Reed Duthie and myself will be on the call as the Cardinals will host the Kitchener Panthers for their final home game of the regular season before going on the road to Barrie on Saturday for their final contest of the regular season period. And shortly after that, the playoff schedule will reveal itself, and then it'll be the best time of year, playoff baseball here in the IBL. I'm Matt Creeley for the production team here at Cable 14. Thank you very much here for tuning in. We will see you in a couple of days for the last Cardinals home game Friday night broadcast of the regular season. We'll see you then.